I was working in the early 2000s in a health food store, which was part of our spiritual community. And it was good. It was good for a few years. But after some time, I really started to have this nagging feeling I need to do something more. I was missing like the creative aspect. And I was just searching for something. I just felt this is not it. I need to change. I need to change my career. And then I wrote an article about Sri Chinmoy's weightlifting. It was published in a magazine and they even paid me for it. And that was
Mm.
for me like unheard of. It's like, whoa, what is this? And it gave me so much joy, like just writing the article, then having it published. It just immediately I felt this is what I should do. It was an experience combined with a deep intuition that is this is actually a path for you. And I decided to be bold. I decided to cancel my job at the health food store. Gradually, I brought it down to zero, and I started to read up about freelance journalism. What do I have to do? I contacted a freelance journalist that I admired. I'd read some of his articles, and he was very kind. He helped me. He helped me get my first assignment. And so he said, "Okay, this magazine is ready for, write something about." And I wrote an article, and I really gave it my all. I wrote an article about it was some kind of popular science subject, and they accepted it, and they published it, and they paid me for it. And that was again such a joy. And I felt, yes, this is the way to go. And actually, at the same period, I watched this documentary, The Secret, who many of us have heard about or seen. It was a real hit in like the 2000s, right? I think it came out in the 90s or
Yeah.
something. For many years, it was like the power of attraction. When you visualize and you put, some feeling behind it, you can actually create your own reality. And it has its flaws. It has its critics, but also I think the basic law is there, the basic cosmic law that you can create your reality by using visualization and imagination. And so I was using this very, very deeply to visualize myself working as a freelance journalist. I was visualizing writing articles, contacting publishers, being published for it, seeing my articles appear in magazines. And when I started really doing this seriously, after like within the first month of me becoming full time, I had four clients. I had four magazines I was writing for, and I had no prior education. I mean, I guess I could write. I had some talent for writing, and it was just that intuition that I followed. Like, yes, this is for you. The joy that came with that. And then within 4 months of that, I wrote for two of the national newspapers in my country. I wrote articles for them as well. And then it really started opening doors. And from there, I had a 12-year career as a freelance journalist, which gave me a lot of joy and a lot of freedom and and that was really just following that first intuition of that little spark of joy and that real idea from inside. You need to change. This is, you need to follow a different path. And I guess for you, it's the same with your ultra running, which you've told about before, and also you opening your music store. Those are also intuitive experiences, right?
Yeah, because I remember when a friend of mine first suggested the idea of me working in a music store, and I had no background in musical instruments at all. And it seemed for my logical mind, it just seems like such a off the wall idea. Like, really? Like me, like running a music store? And it does, like you said, it takes that space of listening to the heart and feeling that, like, how does that make me feel inwardly, like in the deeper, the silent parts of my being? And when you feel that there's a real positive feeling there, and you go for it, and your life turns out so much more interesting than it would have otherwise. Like if you'd still been working the last 20 something years just in a health food store, you would have missed out on so many amazing experiences that you could have perhaps had, and opportunities to connect and grow. So yeah, it's always good to keep your eyes open, because you don't want your idea of what your life looks like to close the door on all of the opportunities that are appearing in front of you. Because as you walk through life, there's constantly moments where opportunities and doors are opening. But if you're too fixated and too close-minded, and if your eyes are not open to see the potential, you'll walk past all of these opportunities.